Good evening, everybody. I hope that y'all doing well. Thank you very much for joining us again tonight for episode 9 of Titansgrave with these amazing, lovely people here. It's a pleasure to be back after taking 2 weeks off. The last week was a bit unexpected, but as we say, the health of our cast member comes first and foremost, so it will always be a priority. But as always, before we get started, it's the usual. Somebody's being noisy. I'm not sure who. Oh,
I
there.
think it's a fan.
Okay.
It's an oscillating fan. Somebody has one.
All right. It's all right. Yes. Before we get started, we do have our usual little quick announcements here. First one is that we are Dice affiliate with Die Hard Dice, mentioned every week. And we are very, very happy to be a Dice affiliate with them. They are some of the most amazing people that I know for kind of like dice shop out there. And this month, you may have seen it on our social, the little product that we get a little bit kickback on is this big, I'm not sure if it's going to show properly on the camera, big chunker boy, Dire D20.
Oh my god, that's a big.
Compared to a regular D20.
Motherfucker. Oh my god.
Yeah. So if you want, to terrify, if you're a GM and want to terrify your player, just randomly roll that behind your GM screen. Don't say a word. It will make the sound that will, make them worried. It is.
Say nothing.
It is fun to do. I mean, sometimes rolling a D20 behind your DM screen, for no reason besides you feel like rolling a D20, is enough to make them being worried about something happening. Mm-hmm. When you roll that big chunker that makes one heck of a sound, actually it's not gonna make too much sound because I have my dice tray, and yes, I would recommend to have a dice tray. Otherwise, whoever owns the table will absolutely hate you. It is the D20 that will assert dominance for sure.
It'll sound something like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice roll.
Too bad this isn't a D20 system.
That's right.
Dang it.
You can use the code GRCREW at checkout to get 10% of the entire order. But if you choose to add that big D20 there to your order, we get a little bit kickback, which goes to supporting the stream and charity endeavor that we do and love to do. Speaking of charity endeavor, I did not add that, and let's update that. Add a command. So, for those that may be following us on ye old Twitter or the Bird app, next Friday, September 24th, I will be live here with a cast of amazing, lovely people for a charity one-shot benefiting Pavlov at September's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And, we want to do a little bit something for this because, well, first, cancer fucking sucks. And when you're a child, it's a shit way to start your life, right? But yeah, Pavlov is a wonderful foundation, and they're helping kids live a love-filled life. If they're affected by cancer, they want to make sure that it's love-filled life today, and if everything goes well, and we do hope it does, that after they are able to live a cancer-free life and happy after that. So it is a wonderful organization that works towards that. And join in, see this lovely campaign. I will be joined by D&D Jordan Lee, Diane and Miko, Justice You, and GM by co-founder of the channel, Derek Ward. So it's going to be a blast. Campaign on Tiltify is open right now. So, if you're not able to basically donate on the day, or you can do it at any time between now and then, and some giveaway will be happening during the stream and after. We're gonna announce those a bit later on or social as well. Yeah, no. And if you're not able to donate, we encourage you to share the post and share the stream, and because every little bit counts. That is all for general announcement for the channel. I will, let my lovely cast, tell me about, if they have any announcement, tell me about where you can find them, all that jazz, because I love to hype them up. Whoever wish to go first. Don't make me pick one.
Awkward.
Okay,
And
I'll go
nobody
first.
let's pretend like we're in a class and just nobody make eye contact.
That's right.
Stand by. The crew is currently rebooting. Anyways, I'm Kitty, or on Twitter as InsaneKitty32. You can find me there. I also do art with using a dice and create these dice-ramas. You can find some of these on my Etsy at Causality Cat Studios, where you can find one of your very own Lucky Charm dice-ramas.
Oh, yes.
And I have indeed been told they do work. So that's pretty much me right now.
I mean, I'm not sure if they do work, but I got one and haven't rolled too terrible since then. So
Even if it's just like a mind over matter thing, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it.
I mean, causality. One effect causes another effect, so.
yeah, exactly.
I'll go next.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Fair. Tonight I will be playing Sabine Newcrest, your let's see, enthusiastic halfling, who's very, very strong. I will tell you all the places you could find me when we're done, because it's a lot of things going on and it will eat up way too much time. So
All the link in the chats.
yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that leaves me. Hey, I'm Jiggles the Fat, variety streamer. Although I haven't really done much streaming recently, just taking care of some stuff that recently cropped up. But I'm dealing, so hopefully I'll be back on at least a semi-regular schedule soon. Because I miss it. I'm not gonna lie, I do. But other than that, you can definitely catch me here every Thursday, at least for the foreseeable future, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And that's it for me.
Yeah. It's always lovely to see their faces. And as you may have noticed, the bottom right corner, our lovely Celine, who played Averlyn, is out for the day. Some real life
Having
things.
fun at Gen Con.
That's right.
Yeah, Gen Con.
Going to a Gen Con like a nerd.
And wearing
Like
her
a-
mask like a responsible individual. Wear your fucking mask, folks.
That's fucking right.
Wear 'em.
Do that. And well, I am Rafiki. I GM here. I do music under Raven's Clouds production, and as of beginning of this month, I'm also part of on Blackfeather Guild on Raven's channel. I'm playing in the Dragon Age campaign as a daily shelf. So yeah, just follow me
Over on whose channel? I missed it.
Raven. I'm shit at spelling name.
Wreck-It Raven?
No, not Raven. Raven. Twitch.tv. Let me. Raven. There we go.
Is it RAVVYN?
That's right. There you go.
Okay.
On this channel. There you go. Yeah, I play. I'm on the player side of the table, which is interesting and fun. Playing the same system, just in a Dragon Age setting. So, I think that more or less does it for quick, round table announcement and all of that jazz. So, before we start a session and see if, all well they're gonna fare to come back to the city, let's roll in the intro video. We'll be right back. And we are back. All right. So, some of you may remember where we left off about like 2 weeks ago. Our true adventure ventured in the Skyside Fortress, or whatever the bloody name. It's a big fortress in the sky. It was an ancient, essentially floating citadel that was built during the peak of the Chaos War, and has just been a big floating vestige since then, where for the most part nobody really went, or at least made its way back. But our group of amazing heroes here were able to more or less safely land within the fortress. Minor bruises. Avoided for the most part trouble within. With minor interaction with the local still active security force. But all is well. They managed to go within the inner sanctum, and also obtain what is an ancient artifact called the Staff of Forlorn Hope. Once it was touched and received, they were teleported back to where they left their vehicle, and which was repaired by the local little robots that seems to be somewhat functional within the facilities, and are now currently making their way back towards Nestora, I do believe, unless you tell your currently available, but still here in the mental space, Ireland to go somewhere else, as she's the pilot of this. With much better, the flight is a bit smoother this time. First time around with a bit more practice. Getting used to driving a stick shift, things like that. Yeah, you are slowly making your approach. If you wish to discuss how you want to do things before entering the city, you may do so now, as Ireland is quietly focusing on flying this piece of junk and making sure that she doesn't crash, because that would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, we can't have our pilot be Launchpad McQuack. Like, that can't. No. We have to have some smooth landings.
I mean, she can always attempt to do a barrel roll. That will be fun.
No, not for everybody.
No. Arya might freak. Anyways, my question is Sabine awake, or is she just knocked out again?
Sabine is absolutely awake because she's amped that she got this fucking staff, and she's excited to learn more about it. So I think when we left off, I had turned on like the dome light and was trying to read my magic book.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm awake.
Good.
Let's see.
Cool. I don't know that we have anything to do before just heading back. I mean, I could stay in Zactopia forever, but I know we got shit to do. So.
I mean, we can always come back.
Oh, that's the plan.
Use the staff and go. Okay, we're gonna put it back in the death halls. Yeah, Arya is just basically hand white on the oh shit handle of the vehicle, totally plastered, going like, okay.
Trademark.
Every little button, she just like instantly goes, oh god, because she hates flying a lot.
I mean, it's not for everybody, so, and some people have reason to not like that. Fantastic. Well, if nothing more is to be done or discussed, within a few hours, you see the bright lights of the city, on the horizon, and quickly approaching the quote-unquote vast enterprise tower, because owning a spy network doesn't pay itself, so you need a business end. This at the front, so and eventually, relatively smooth landing. A bit bumpy, but at least it is not a crash landing, which is quite the improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. We don't need to do it again.
Oh yeah. No.
You slept through most of it.
I did sleep through all. That was just a general statement for everybody else. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And Arya has me fucking strapped into this goddamn baby seat. I'm not going anywhere.
Yep. Out of everybody, you might be the safest.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. As you approach and land, right outside of the open door, you do see some staff member just waiting to greet you and get back the vehicle in your possession. Noticing the light damage on the exterior, but they just nod and acknowledge your presence. And right behind them, Astrid standing there. Oh, welcome back.
I have a quick question. Sorry, it just occurred to me.
Yes.
Before we left, we did put the staff into the bag, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes,
just
absolutely.
making
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
It was implied that it wasn't there.
Okay.
Oh. How did it go?
Well,
She
we're
looks-
alive.
Yeah, we're still alive.
Excellent. And she looks at you.
Arya's pale after the flight, and she's just staring at the ground, silent, with a kind of terror look on her face from the flight.
Oh, I don't see any staff. And you were successful, it is somewhere else, or within certain tools on your person that prevent it from being
Magic.
magic. Yeah. Yeah. So, were you successful?
Yes, we were successful.
Good. Mr. Boss would please. You may follow me?
Am I out of the car seat?
Of course, Arya did let you out, and then she immediately
part-
escaped.
Okay.
Or
Then yeah, Sabine's gonna just follow her, like very nonchalant, like not even, like very much set in her ways, just like the rest of her companions are about like what they're gonna do with this fucking staff. So
yeah.
she's like unbothered.
Mm-hmm.
For my mental sake and not having to poorly roleplay Avril, she will just mention that she's gonna just stay outside for a moment, make sure that she doesn't flip a table and accidentally shoot Mr. Voss, because we all know that she absolutely love him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, did the person took the car away?
It's still
'Cause I
technically
was gonna say
on the roof.
Ava Ava's just standing next to the car in case we gotta make a quick getaway.
Yeah, most likely.
She's prepared.
Yeah.
Fiddling
Yeah.
with fiddling and tinkering and
That car is gonna have a machine gun on the top of it by the time we come back out.
Eventually, it would be one that opens up, pops out, and then
Exactly.
comes back in after Zach and her get together and make a child.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. Make a child.
You know damn well that car would be considered the baby of the group. Anybody messed with that vehicle.
Oh my god!
on a spiritual level,
that
yes.
can never happen. That can never happen because then I'll be usurped and I can't be usurped. Even though I'm like older than most people in this group, which is the funniest part about everything.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great.
I'm surprised that you haven't gone full Mad Max with a car yet. So
Hey,
We haven't had a
Pending.
chance.
yeah, we've
Yeah.
been a little busy.
We've been busy.
You give us some downtime, we'll get there.
Right.
let's
I
get
mean,
it.
legitimately, I think we got the card less than a week ago.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you already had plenty like mount guns on it and things like that.
Hey,
Which are
once we get back up
absolute
to
respect.
Fort, once we get back up to Fort Zach, it's over for this fucking car. This car is gonna be a Mad Max car.
I mean,
Any of the cars, the flying one and the ground one.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
too.
we actually might find something better up there.
Maybe. Oh,
So that's the plan. After this, we're going to go explore the port. Okay, that's second part of the campaign. I guess.
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's Arc 2.
Season 2 of Titansgrave. It's gonna be a Mad Max theme and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Witness me.
Wait a minute.
So, yeah, as we're going in, Arya's going to take a deep breath and compose herself.
And so slowly you make your way down in the elevator towards the what is considered the most private floor, which is where Mr. Voss' office is. Again, you're following Astrid, which is completely silent, down there, and greeted by the big lady with a hammer that was kindly offering you an egg last time. She's just there, vibing at her station with a big hammer by her side, and just looks at you walking in. And in front of the window, facing outward, its back towards you, is the hologram of Mr. Voss, which is a bit strange because, well, technically an hologram is not really able to look out the window, but it's probably just out of habit. So, you have returned. And he turns towards you.
Like a fucking villain in a Bond film. Oh my god.
Right? Like,
Just turn
extra
around the
much?
chair. Is there a cat in his lap?
a holographic kitty?
Is
Yeah.
there a holographic kitty in his lap?
No.
Now I
there-
wish one of my cats was in here because then that would be hilarious.
Yeah, we're here.
So, how did it go?
Why? You guys just ask the same questions over and over again, huh? But she already asked us that.
Well, we just
They're
got
like a-
here and he didn't know.
I mean, that sounds like a problem with communication between him and her. I'm starting shit.
Right, just like woke up from the car nap and chose violence. Like,
I was not napping. I was reading. Okay.
Yeah.
I napped on the way there. I read on the way back.
And-
I'll nap again later.
That's right.
She's cranky. She hasn't had her nap yet.
That's true.
That's what it is.
I also need to be. I also haven't eaten. Like we literally went up there, did not eat a single time. So
Yeah.
I'm like fucking hangry, and these motherfuckers are asking the same questions over and over. Well, I mean, we're back. It went well. We found the artifact.
So you were indeed able to retrieve it.
And I
Excellent.
just kind of open up my bag and just kind of pull out the top of it without pulling the whole thing out. And like, yeah, it's right here. And then put it back away.
Anything else of interest that you may have found in there?
I found my retirement home.
See.
We just have to clear out all the
the-
death robots.
The deal wasn't to let you know what was up there; it was to retrieve the staff. So I don't think it should concern you what's up there.
I mean, I mostly know what's up there.
Also, we claimed it already, so you dibs.
I peed in a couple of corners. It's mine now.
Yeah, Zach put his stank all over it.
I'm pretty sure it's already gone because you did see the little Roomba.
Shh.
It's not about the actual liquid being there; it's about the scent being there. As long as it's still marked, yeah. I mean, that's what it was like on the farm.
Yeah. I love our group.
So, which one of you was able to pick up the staff?
Me.
How did you take it away?
My hand.
Any gift towards the...
Oh. I'm sorry. This is out of character. I like splashed some blood on it, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it drips some blood.
Okay,
on
okay.
it. Signals, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why?
You lie.
No, I said I'm asking why. Why do you want to know?
Just simply to confirm certain theory.
Well, why don't you tell me what your theory is, and I'll
Oh.
tell you if it's true or not.
Assuming a blood offering was more or less needed. Unless you managed to
I-
pull it out in a different means.
I hide my hand behind my back. It's like, oh well, yeah, that was true. It wasn't hard. Magic's pretty easy. Seems like.
Magic is interesting. It can be easy, especially when you have the proper lineage, as you seem to have.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I just know that I dropped my blood and it just worked.
That's what I was expecting, hoping. All right, let me be a bit more honest with you, all of you.
Yeah, I thought we agreed that you were going to be honest with us before we left. Did I get that wrong?
I mean, to be honest, I did not, necessarily lie. Just did not divulge all the information.
I think that omitting information that might be pertinent to people is still a level of lying.
Possibly to some. I had my suspicion that you were most likely... What do you know about the Chaos War and your ancestors?
Not much. Like, I mean, there was in my village, like people told stories, but things get inflated. You don't know what's true or not. Like a lot of times, legends, people will embellish them to make certain people seem like they did something great when they didn't really do anything great and they were just
Yeah.
kind of assholes. So I don't really know much. I know I had like some uncles and aunts who fought in it.
Yeah.
Great on.
As you know, not Voth but GM here mode. I mean, I'm assuming that Sabine had some grandparents that you were telling the story of like things, and I don't can you just roll me like just for shits and giggle intelligence historical lore.
Okay. So that's just me intelligence. I'm not that smart.
I mean, believe in you.
Oh,
Actually,
wait.
all of you may roll me. Yeah, depending if you have
Wow,
family that may have
it's
told
been
you
so long. I forgot how to roll.
loose stories about days past.
I
That was
talked
what
to some old people.
historical lore.
Yeah,
That's not
Got
bad.
an 11.
11.
I don't know shit.
Hey,
15.
11 is average.
15 for Arya.
All right,
23.
23. So, with these roll, I feel like there's a varying degree of documentation and information that may have been transferred, between generation. I mean, it's probably was just like, word from generation, just grandpa is telling a story, and everybody probably believes that the old man is a bit senile and you're just rambling on. But you do recall, when you were wee little lass, sadly, certain situation made that story was not necessarily told for too long in in your later years due to life and things that happen. So maybe a bit harder to remember, but you remember like. Yeah, I mean, you're like you said, your sister did fight, in a chaos war against the prophet. Very similar thing to you, Arya. You was a bit, older. I was, just a bit more. You recall, very story. That fought and were possibly instrumental in the victory. The Kreen. I mean, you're a big nerd. Your whole family are big nerd and probably lore keeper, which is why you managed to have such good collection and probably some documentation of things that may have happened then. Not everything is. I mean, there was a few Saurian, fighting in the war. Your great grandpa or grandma or whichever you prefer, one of your ancestors did in fact to be instrumental in this. All right, now back into boss mode. Oh. See, third people did fight along myself and along the side. The one that was partially constructed the citadel. Herman Reed. You may have heard of him.
Was that the
That was a
skeleton?
Yeah, we
dude.
found the
That was
picture of
that was a skeleton boy that you found a picture and a watch.
him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we met him.
Probably.
And
Well-
Voss is saying that he fought alongside our ancestors.
So,
Elves. We're old.
boss is
Well, no, I mean,
fucking
like,
old.
I know elves are old, but I'm just like saying like,
Yeah.
explicitly he's saying our ancestors. He fought alongside them.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm just imagining some sort of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings type adventure where they have to throw something into the fucking fire or something.
Toss the
That's
ring
what
in
I'm
the
imagining
fire.
in my head right now. Yeah.
Oh god.
And my axe. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah. And his demeanor changed a little bit. So, although it's hard to tell because boss is a very he presented himself in a very certain, a very specific way. So I remember a turning point. Armor, common recreation, plus victory. Line or side. Laughs. Half. Question was the way one of his cool. Armin
So-
was a bit of a paranoid man. But no, what reason? Expecting no, wanting Claudia to fall in the wrong hand. Made sure that only would be able to retrieve it. They entrusted. Full share their blood. Seem to be have questions.
It just sounds like you're talking about something. I don't know. Sounds like blood magic. You know what I mean? Like, that's odd. It's been how long that thing has been placed there, waiting for someone specific?
It's
and
been
it
about like
happens to
over
be one of
1,000
us?
years.
Yeah, and it just happens to be one of us, or could have been any of us from the way you're talking.
Still believe that, and things really happened by purely accident coincidence. Right, that verbal, as your ancestor did, might sounds like coincidence. Some may call it fate.
Our ancestors met in a bar?
I mean, technically, your great-great-great-great-grandpa was the owner. But yes,
Oh.
funny little man. But a story for a different time.
Okay. Consider, like, let's, putting aside, like, this fate, whatever that you're talking about, how exactly did you know that we were of these lineages? Have you been, like, watching us, stalking us?
Not per se. But I had a feeling I first encountered area here. And
Yes, I'm actually kind of wondering that because I'm an orphan. So, no idea about my lineage or anything like that. So I'm wondering how exactly you found my connection.
honestly,
Also, if you knew that she was part of this lineage and she was an orphan and you didn't, like, adopt her or anything, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that he was related to her.
yeah.
But he, I mean, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, you clearly, you know her family and you didn't.
Well, we didn't meet until much later. I think when I was over
that's-
100.
But that's my point.
Right, but he's not necessarily saying that he's been watching us since we were children.
I mean, I don't know what he's saying.
No,
It sounds like he's saying that we're related to people who played a big part in the war.
No,
1,000
I
years
understand.
ago.
No, I'm hearing that. I understand that. What I want to know is how he knows that we're related to him. Because
But genealogical records are not hard to dig up if you know what you're looking for.
And I mean, given how old he is,
so
you can look like your
Watson's-
great great grandfather or great great grandmother he met years ago and go, oh, he looked just like your great Grammy.
he's saying that he knew
Esmeralda.
he had a feeling before he even met me that
Well, what I'm well, how to explain? What I'm in an area like a few years ago, and honestly, she's fitting a measure for great grandma.
Oh God.
But, okay.
Please
And
stand
scene.
by. Arya's brain is currently in a moment of wait, what the hell? Arya.exe has stopped working. Please stand by.
Please stand by. Area needs to reboot.
Zach, she needs to reboot her. Put the smelling salts underneath her nose again.
Turn Arya off and on.
Yeah.
Give Arya coffee.
Yeah. Somebody, hey Astrid, can you go get coffee, please? She needs it. Oh my gosh, she's shutting down.
Coffee IV drip stat.
Yeah.
This is bypassing the mouth entirely, straight into the bloodstream.
Yes.
There's more or less a certain, for like a better word, aura that people sharing the blood of Rose have. RT or willing to magical abilities. My knowledge.
I have a book.
Great.
I held up my book. I'm learning.
Fantastic. How do you like it so far?
It's interesting. It's very dry in some parts. And there's not enough pictures in it.
Most magical poems don't really have much picture unless it. I'm sure it's somewhere there's a graphic novel edition of a Magic 101. But as I was saying, hoping based on previous report, and he turns side toward Arya because he didn't make mention of the weird little fuckery that was happening at the brewery, right? I do believe, if I recall correctly.
We may have vaguely mentioned something about alien penis monsters. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Arya
sure we did.
definitely did send word like we might have a problem.
Yeah.
We find any chance to mention the penis monster. So I can't
Right.
imagine we did
People
not
need to
mention it.
know
Yeah.
about the alien penis monsters.
Yeah,
It
you,
is-
you
it-
have, if we had to suffer it, you have to suffer the knowledge with us, okay?
It is a great way to start a conversation. Start talking
About
about
the
alien.
penis monsters?
I mean, it is a good conversation point. So, like popular belief, at the end of the ward, Prophet was killed per se. Like some folk would like to tell. She was more or less put into sleep, her own little pocket dimension, okay? But surgeons of such creature say us that she may be slowly awakening.
I'm gonna assume that that's not a good thing.
No, it is very, very not.
Mr. Voss, can I ask a question? Is she
Okay.
the one who did this to you?
Who did what? He just old and got sick.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry,
covered
this is
that last time. He's just really, really
No.
old.
No, Fair does not remember what has happened for the past 2 months. So
Yeah.
you'll have to forgive me. I only remembered getting the staff. That's all I remember.
If you are referring to my illness, my battle with Prophet did impact my health. Probably did not necessarily help what was bound to happen regardless or another.
Okay. Sorry, it's been a long week.
Yeah, it's been a week that felt like 2 months.
Yeah.
We,
Mm-hmm.
in these trying times, sometimes time is weird.
Yep. Finally, Arya has her coffee and she's just sipping it, like staring at her cup and just like sipping, contemplating a lot of shit right now.
Oh, I know it is. A lot of ask. And obviously based on my current state, and you vaguely gesture towards, his very in stasis, old, sickly body. May be difficult. To assist. Matter. But if in Prophet is awakening, believe like you're maybe able stop it.
Okay, so first of all, fate is an abstract concept that has no actual bearing in science. So that can, I mean, we could just kind of throw that thing out of the window. If what you say is true, however, that could be terrible for everybody. I mean, what are you asking of us? And just be straightforward and plain, or we'll, we can always just walk out and figure shit out ourselves.
There is only a very few locations that still provide access where the Prophet was. What I'm asking is, renew the lock. Make sure that it does indeed remain dormant. Escape.
Were you not able to just kill her? Seems like that would have been a more efficient way.
Believe me, child,
Effective.
we tried.
Did you try to use the staff?
That's actually,
Seems very powerful. It teleported us.
I believe that may just be a side effect of whatever armor and shenanigans were around the staff, honestly.
Well,
Yes, I mean, we
did
did
we?
try to, end her. But
Did we tell him that the skeleton of his friend is up there?
No,
yeah.
I just said I think we met him. when he was mentioning
Yeah,
him.
well,
And he just completely whooshed by, like nobody reacted.
putting
at
two
all.
and two, you probably assumed that buddy is
Yeah.
probably fucking dead.
Human.
Um,
Up there for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Probably not alive.
I don't know what would have happened to. I mean, speaking of like the shenanigans of his little fortress, it seemed like maybe something happened to him and he was trying to reach for the staff and then something got him.
Possible. Usual. But
I mean,
obviously,
he was
as
dead, reaching for this. His body was like reaching for it.
I mean, he could have also been injured. He was a skeleton, so we couldn't really see what kind of injuries he could have had.
Yeah, you did not go
But
full
if he's
CSI and
rushing
hold me.
But I mean, I guess again, like, but what injured him? Was it himself or was it something else?
Well, I mean, the entire fortress went on lockdown and evacuation, so who knows what actually occurred up there.
Anyway, sorry. If you want, after we have cleaned it out, we can bring you his body. Consider it like a somewhat. I mean, I'm not. I mean, it would not a peace offering, but just a gesture of goodwill. I don't know.
I mean,
I mean-
family might want his body back to properly bury him.
Anything you can bury him at his old estate. But yes, to answer your previous questions about us trying to kill we did try, and in the final days of the thousand died fighting the prophets. What I can only describe as a needle falling from the sky. For thousands of lives. By any means.
Giant syringe.
What do you know of Prophet Dewan? And if you want, enroll me. You could probably re-roll me historical lore, or I would.
Eh,
Yeah,
not
I mean,
as good as my last one. That one's only a 19 historical.
Yeah,
Historical
Araya
lore?
is still kind of right now
16.
in oh shit mode because that would be a 8 for Arya.
Okay.
She's
Very
not having a
valid.
good day right now.
So, those that rolled above an 8, that know a bit more than just a name, you know that she was one of the opposing side, in the Chaos War, tale of that, battle, I've been sung and wrote, and I mean, you've witnessed some of it, in the local pub, as although it's fun a bit weirdly, some of the events, but that's, a different story. She was a powerful mage, and also, in a sense, a powerful leader. Not only like she was a very charismatic being, to the point that she was able to have many on her side and lead to this massive actually trying to assert dominance over Valkana, over people. Follow her, she called herself the Prophet, and had many, many, many followers. Some may or may not be still around. And as he's asking me, starting about things, Voss temporarily lost affair.
She's stepping away for a
Okay.
quick sec.
Many on our side died. And as a security measure, honestly wanting just about anybody to stumble upon the Tomb of the Prophet, made sure that, just like the staff, only certain people, certain lineage, may be able to open it, enter. As a matter of fact, access it. are one of, at least, can confirm that your little friend he is indeed one. But I'm sure that even though some of you, in a very Saurian manner, have no belief in fate, and you see him smile a little bit for the first time. Saurian, you tend to be a bit more on the logical side. If you wish to explain everything scientifically, which I respect, but Valky in this world can manner.
Except you already explained it in such a manner. It's not fate or destiny. It was specific programming put onto the protections in place, whether they be magical or technological. If they can only be accessed by certain people, that's not fate. That was just clever thinking of the people who came before and set it up.
Wait, but what brought you together is not necessarily clever thinking, is it?
Possibly not, but I have a weird feeling that you might have had a hand in that yourself. Because what are the odds of, if we happen to be related to these people, that somebody who was in your employ and was basically spying on us this whole time also happens to be one of those people? I mean, that's a little bit too much of a coincidence for there not to be a more of a guiding, pushing hand. But I don't think it's fate. I think it's you.
So you believe that I've agent any towards area in your paddle purpose?
Absolutely.
To be truthful, I had no idea about this.
Oh yeah, no, of course not. That would have tipped the scales too much had you known. But the fact that he seems to know who we are, where we came from, and that these are, these specific instances, we just, happen to show up in the same place at the same time with as much power and influence and time that this man has had. I'm not saying it's not, you're trying to save the world. That's cool. Sometimes you got to do things the right way, but to just try to call it fate or destiny when I feel like you had a bigger hand in it than you may be letting on is a little much. Also, out of character, the Prophet was the one who basically killed the internet, right? With that stupid virus.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, wasn't it her who released that out there and destroyed all the networking?
Yeah,
because of it.
Yeah.
That's
There
why I
goes
hate
all
her.
the porn.
She brought a massive shit show over Valkana with that. I mean, yes, there was previous conflict when the Saurian first came to Valkana, but that's older ancient history, and things settled down a little bit, and eventually Prophet came and said like, nah, it's not gonna be that way, and essentially kill, as you said, kill the internet. The fact that most of the planet is currently a wasteland is because of that war.
No, because there's no more internet.
Because there's no more internet.
I mean, I'm currently wondering how the hell the chances of me meeting you guys, since we met in a bar that I wasn't supposed to be at.
As much as I would love to take credit for such event, I assure you that I had I had quite a task Ari here, which were absolutely unrelated to this. She knew what she had to do, and she did what she had to do very well for this.
No, you're welcome.
However, your meeting
Random
much as
act of
you hate
chance.
fate. And if you wish to, out of character, or wish to see how sincere boss is, you may roll me I do believe it is communication empathy.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, could you really do an insight check on a hologram?
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
you've done
still
it
see the
before.
body. I mean, you still see the body, you still see the facial expressions.
Wait, perception you said, or communication?
It is. I think it's
Communications.
communication. Communication,
Empathy.
empathy. Yeah, I think it is,
Okay.
it's communication. It's perception. It is
Ooh,
communication.
what are we rolling?
We're saying if he's sincere.
Yeah.
Sincere
Zachary-
about what?
Us being it
Faded
being
to
chance.
me and not being a manipulation from behind the scenes
Oh,
to put
okay.
us
And we're
together.
rolling
Oh.
empathy.
Yes, please.
16.
Fine.
16 with 5 stunt points.
Okay.
12 with 5 stunt points. Sorry, 3 stunt points, but
And you said it's communication or perception.
It is. I do believe empathy is a skill.
Empathy is
Uh,
perception.
Oh, it is a perception. My
Yeah.
bad. It is a perception empathy, so you
okay.
can adjust your roll accordingly.
oh, so 14.
I also got a
Let's
14.
see. Math. That would be 16 minus.
There's so
2.
many like skill. It's hard to keep track of where everything is.
So 14
Right, of
as well with
course.
5 stunt points.
I guess you could. I'm not sure if there's any stun that apply to this. But you appear to be very, very sincere. And boss is somebody that tends to be sincere, just doesn't necessarily tell everything. And that's been your impression since you more or less met him. Yeah. Well, from what you can read on an hologram, which is obviously not as easy as to read a person, very sincere.
I mean, I guess if he didn't believe what he was saying about us, at least, he wouldn't have done all that spying.
Well, I mean, I didn't do much. I didn't give all that much away, just saying, hey, these are the people I'm hanging with. That's all I said. I didn't give any other information about you guys.
No, I wasn't talking about you. I just meant like all the
Oh, yeah.
dossiers and stuff that he has on us that he
Oh, professional curiosity.
deleted.
Yeah, I'm just at that moment of realizing, A, you knew my grandmother? Meaning you know who my family is.
I mean, I remember her, but it's been many years and we haven't kept as much tab on each other as we would have liked to.
I don't think that's the point she's trying to make. I think the point she's
Yeah, that's
trying
not
to
the
make is
point.
that she does
Yeah,
not know who her
she's a-
family is,
She's
and
an
you
orphan,
do,
and you've known this whole time.
and you have not yet
Didn't
told
think-
her who her family
Look.
is.
I can.
Yes, that.
Kind of a dick move.
How about this? You just shoot a message to her and say, hey, I've possibly found your granddaughter who survived the flying car crash and has been on the streets for the past 100 or so years.
Or maybe, like, I mean, if you know her last known location of her grandmother, you can give it to us and we can just go there.
That too.
What's her name?
A flick of the wrist, he send that information, what he knows, your data pad. Okay, do as you will. And that he also bring an hologram with and you see in front of you a sigil. I mean, may not have canon, if I have an idea of, lineages, I can only assume that modern day followers of the Prophet also look. I would be on
Are
the
you
lookout.
seeing?
Oh.
And-
Shite.
I think
Sabine.
Aria and Sabine just had the same thought at the same time.
Sabine, you see this sigil in front of you.
Mhm.
Sigil of Prophet.
Okay.
And takes a moment, probably just because distraction around, crossing things that are, and take a look, cross it, and you remember. You've seen this before, many, many years ago.
I, I know
Some
that
very,
symbol.
very specific old red cloaks were wearing said sigil on him.
They've already been after me. I've s-
Yeah,
I've
but
seen
maybe
that
this is
sigil
the
before.
reason.
No, yeah, Zach. Obviously.
Well, obviously, but I mean, you seem to.
But they just they destroyed my whole village just to get to me.
As well as your family as well.
Oof.
My whole- yeah. I'm the
But
only one left as far as I know.
if they're trying to get it open, one of your family might still be alive.
I don't-
Oh, shit.
I don't want to put my eggs in that basket. Because if it turned out not to be true, then I'm still in the same place that I already am. Can you put that away? It's hard to look at.
It vanished. Be on the lookout in.
I think with that, and like just the rolls that we did to like the insight check more or less that we did on him, like I think Sabine, her suspicions of him are slightly less. Like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
still a little like leery because I mean he did have like a whole fucking file just on her.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't know anything about him and stuff. But this is like it's one of those things where it's like I don't have any reason to like disbelieve what you're saying, and I'm still not gonna give you this fucking staff. But I mean, I'm more inclined to like I want to help. We have to stop these people because they're just killing everybody that's in their way.
Best to take them out before other innocent people also suffer what we've been dealt with.
I mean, gotta stop the biggest threat this world has ever seen from coming back. Yeah, hands down. But before we go any further, Mr. Voss,
Yes.
are we free to walk out of this
Oh,
secret base? And I mean, not just like, are you gonna let us out? But if we walk out, are we immediately gonna get arrested? Or have you fixed that?
I mean, them. I don't look like myself, like Callistra anymore. So.
Jesus.
Everybody gives Arya a fucking side eye at that. Like,
And
thing right
My
now.
ex is gonna come after my ass anyway. So what's
And-
new?
Boss just
That
Turn
sounds
is-
like a you problem.
Boss turns his glance
It
towards
is.
Astrid, and she just nod like confirmation. Seems that the matter has been resolved. At least
Okay.
to the limit of our abilities. Footage that was tampered are available.
I guess I have to. With everything that you just told us, is it possible that these followers of the Prophet have infiltrated the guild? Because it didn't really seem to make sense to me that we were targeted specifically when we didn't really do anything wrong.
There was that war 50 years ago,
when
and
impossible,
somebody.
any zealous survivor, follower of the prophet, their ancestors, still shared their fate. Turn. Time we're able to find, at least attempt to find halfling friend. It's not impossible. Them are in a similar position I am, in their own manner.
Told you that city was bad.
I'm a bit surprised if similar people, other cities around Anna would be in a situation. There is only one of the many.
I mean, if this cult, they might be trying a different playbook. First, straight up, we're attacking you, we're going to take over the world. Well, that failed. I mean, the next best thing is to slowly infiltrate. And I mean, they've had 1,000 years. They have descendants who we don't know who they are.
You slowly take over unless you find a village that's unprotected and you just decide to destroy it for no.
And who knows how many other places have also been hit like hers.
Let's face it, after the war, a lot of information was lost. Got a bit complicated. Facts were lost as well. With this, they do. Fish are able to help, and he send you a map and coordinate towards the manor Harmon Reed. This may be one of the few still available location where a way towards gate may be still available. Not sure how, based on what you said earlier, that Harmon was not able to return home. I have no idea of what is this state.
On that note,
Yeah.
Whatever info you have on this prison, demi-plane, pocket dimension, and the cult, and all of it, and anything regarding to any of this, will you provide to us?
Certainly, although this was in most part not my design. Harmon was a brilliant engineer, brilliant mage. He made things. But
So wait, was Zactopia built entirely to house the staff, or was the staff added later?
Oh my god.
it was built to it give you a bit of a confused look when you mentioned Zactopia.
Oh, I told you I claimed it. That's
Yeah.
my retirement home. It's under a new
did
name
say-
now.
You did say
Well, we need to
yes.
clean it out and fix it.
Right, the Flying Citadel. That's not nearly nice enough. So.
Well-
Zactopia, super classy.
And we deem it important to keep foreign objects away. So it was mostly built around to mostly ensure that it's gonna fall in wrong hand.
Okay,
Thanks to
was
your Saurian ancestor.
was this guy big into cyborgs?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, because there were definitely a few, at least one lab that had quite a
Yeah.
few cyborgs in suspended animation and tanks inside of it.
There's
Yeah.
quite a few.
It was a scary amount.
Mm-hmm.
Like we
Good to know.
barricaded the door just in case they came alive, so we wouldn't. You know, yeah.
Yeah, when I get back, I'm just gonna have some of the robots push them over the edge of the citadel. We'll let the ground folk deal with that.
Maybe we should keep them, and then when we figure out the whole guild situation in this store, we should bring them there and unleash them.
That might be a bit too much. Things like that might be considered war crimes.
I mean, it hasn't stopped. I mean, I guess, but also it hasn't really stopped them from doing war crimes.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, I'm sure that you're very, very tired. Travels. Rest as you will. Facilities are available. If you wish to go city, they do so.
Yeah, because at the very least, I think we're gonna need a couple of days
Oh yeah.
to talk and discuss and make our final decisions. And I know there's some stuff I need to look into.
Mr. Voss, could you, or is there somebody here who could teach me about magic?
I'll have any age to my I do know a few about magic, but try. Maybe a bit complicated. Especially since the DM doesn't know how multiclassing work in the system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is actually
Well,
multi-class.
I don't think so.
system.
I don't
If I-
think so either.
If I could speak out of character, there is
Yeah.
there's a mage slayer like subclass
Yeah,
that I'm building to be.
but I can share you much knowledge I can. Because yeah, in his prime, Voss was a mage.
Okay, well, thank you. That would be very nice. I really want to learn.
Is it this city out of character? Is it this
Yeah.
city that also has the Magic Academy, or is that the other big city?
Yeah, I do believe I would need to go check, but I do believe it may be another big city.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, there's like a magic college in one of them. I just don't remember which one
Yeah,
it is. off the top of my
I
head.
don't think that
Yeah, I don't-
Nestor is one of those. It's more, Nestor is more tech friendly than magic friendly.
As all things should be.
Campaign 2, Sabine goes to college.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are free to do whatever you need to.
Step 1, eat.
Arya is
Absolutely,
going
yeah.
to be going to Dragon and Donuts.
All right, as you proceed to be taking care of, whatever personal downtime business, we're gonna go on a break.
CCOB, taking care of business.
Yeah,
Mhm.
been going on for about like an hour or so. So yeah, we're gonna take a few minutes to go on a little break here. Buy a break. Drink some water and things like that. And we suggest everybody watching at home to do the same. Stretch and all. It's important.
Do
Self-care.
it.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
we shall be back for hopefully less heavy lore drop and
No,
more down.
lore. More lore.
lore?
More lore, more lore.
That's right.
More lore.
We want to go through all the emotions.
No, what's really funny is my plans are probably going to be kind of lore heavy. So
It's all right.
it's okay.
I love
Mhm.
that. All right, we're gonna be right back. So see you in a bit. we are back. Thank you very much for waiting and sticking around. All right. So, for the break, we had a lovely conversation with the boss. Information were some lore was dropped about possible lineage and things that may have impacted some people's life, minor or major way, depending on the character. But so you are currently free as long as you don't decide to create a shit show by yourself. Free to roam Boss Rice Tower or the city as well. Business was taken care of, or at least as much as the reach of Voss Enterprise is within that time frame. But Nestor is a city that moves very, very fast. You may have witnessed, when you thought I'd attack that, a few streets further that people were just doing business as usual. So that kind of place. But yeah, you are free to do whatever you wish to do.
Arya is going to be at Dragon and Donuts.
Dragon and Nuts, lovely place.
Eating donuts, drinking coffee, and reading the datapad on her grandmother. Trying to learn new things.
And as you enter, Dragon Donuts, the lovely barista there, gave you donuts, misspell your name on the cup as they would. Even though it's only for a letter for some reason. She spelled
You say
it.
Arya, but it's spelled Greg for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you just grab Grace's cup and but
Tastes like my coffee. I'm still gonna drink it. It's fine.
it's very, very good coffee and a very good donut.
Oh yeah, I'm in the corner
But
where I can see people coming in and out.
But you are reading. There's some information about your grandma, but a lot of it, seems to have been, just seems to be incomplete. Mostly, either things happened, she moved, or was able to. Because let's face it, as much as there is technology now on Volcana, information is a bit complicated to travel by. That's why there's still people that do a lot of footwork. Task. But you do see mention of an old an elven lady named Lura Magdi. I can send you that information. I'll spell it.
Please.
That is to the information that you can that was available to be found. Your closest possible relative, at least as far as and information goes. She to the last known location. Let me bring up the map so I don't mispronounce that play. Map of Balkan. Thank you. She is not in Dora, but she is, however, on the southern side of the continent, in a little, at least in nearby, a little town named Norest. At least, and in around the yeah, Outer Islands. At least this was the last place that she was loosely spotted.
Can you also put the name of the town into chat?
Yep.
Make sure I write it down. Thank you.
Not much, information, still around or alive, unsure. Current status known. But, elves do tend to live very old as, boss. So, depending on her lifestyle, she may still be around.
I mean, if she's anything like Arya, she's extremely stubborn and just keeps going.
Oh yeah, she's probably still alive out of spite. Which I absolutely respect.
She's
that
that
kind
old
of
lady
energy.
that's on the
Yeah.
Fortress's "Get off my lawn, bitch."
Right. Anything else you wish to do, or
Probably after she's doing that on the way back, she would probably attempt to get in contact with some of the people that she trusted, but she cut contact in order to go in the wind and try to reestablish her information.
okay.
Oh, what is the one I'm thinking of?
They're gonna be like, we don't know you. We don't know her.
I'm assuming you have the contacts talent.
Yes, I do.
Just give me a general communication check. Just test, just to see how the word is gonna go by.
Okay. She would probably use persuasion.
Arya's really sending a "hey you up" text to all of her old contacts.
Some of them, yes.
Hey, you
to
up,
other
winky
ones,
face?
She's like, "So I'm alive. How are you? Love
Phone
you."
with this.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, that would be math. That would be 24.
All right. Word has been spread. In that time frame, you have not heard back, but you know that some things can take some time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. The bean and Zik.
I mean, I think we already established that Sabine's hungry. She hasn't eaten for a week now, basically. So she's about to go hit up that street food. She wants to go get more of that spicy lizard tail.
Yeah.
Spicy lizard, whatever it was.
Yeah. So a lot of the street food vendor are not necessarily there because it's no longer festival time. But that's
right.
Some of them are it's just all year. That's all. They have pop-up shop here and there. Card that go around the city. Give me perception. I would allow either searching, either seeing, or smelling, because you can use your nose to find that vendor if you want.
Okay. Let's see. What do I got? I do not have. I have searching. I don't have smelling, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay.
Or if you want to ask around, you can use a communication test. It's up to you.
I got a 17 with 1 stunt die.
That would be on exploration, so you can use whatever is available under. The advantage is positioning. I guess you find your way to on top of a box or something.
Yep. I have to be able to see over the crowd.
Yeah. On top of a crate, and you look around, and you do spot that lovely old lady that previously sold you that delicious playing the hot lizard.
I make a beeline.
Oh, you're back! Oh!
Yeah, it was really good.
I don't remember the lady's voice. Sorry.
I don't either.
If anything, it's her twin sister. Fuck it.
Oh, well, can I have like 5?
Sure. The spicy one, the extra spicy one, or like a regular one.
Oh, I don't remember what I got last time.
I think last time you tried the spiciest one.
Yeah, I'll take that again.
All right.
Do they also have dessert lizards? Like chocolate
dessert
dipped
lizard.
ones?
A candy lizard.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so she'll
I
take
mean-
like 3 spicy ones and then 2 dessert ones.
All right. I mean, you know, for that maybe like 2 silver. It's dirt cheap.
Okay. Well, she'll give them like. Well, let me see what's how much silver I got. Okay, not that much. But you know what? I think Sabine will actually give her a gold piece, because that's how she thinks her food's really good.
Well, thank you, Dove.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite things I've eaten so far here.
Excuse me.
Family recipe.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. You guys are doing a great job.
All the love and mostly the spice put into it.
Yes.
Love spice and everything nice.
And I think once she's gotten like her sack full of lizards,
That's a weird. That is a whole
I know.
phrase.
Question out of character because I
Yes.
just can't remember. It was Farkaya a magic user?
She
Did we know that?
she had mild magic ability, was not like, you know, a powerful mage by any means, but she had enough abilities and understanding to be able to work and open certain arcane object.
I think she also had mentioned that she was gonna look into like the wizards that I had told her about before I knew what they were. So I think Sabine's gonna like make her way back to Farkaya's shop just to like to see if she's gotten any information so far, and if she has, to see if it lines up with what Ross told her.
So you go and meet okay, I don't know what Zachary is doing, if you're accompanying being on their journey or you're doing your own thing.
No, I was gonna honestly just eat in a tower because it's free,
Yeah.
and then I was gonna go.
But it's unseasoned, okay?
It's very
You know
white.
they don't season their food.
It is very
Not
white people's
everybody
food.
in the tower is white, is it? Are they like?
It's white people's food. It's British
It's
food. I say that, but I absolutely love seasoning my food.
But yeah, no. He was gonna eat and then head off to the school.
All right. Right. Just want to know if there was
Those
any.
things.
Oh God, y'all, we just split the party.
Fuck yeah. No, nothing bad will happen out of that.
Nothing bad has ever happened with somebody when you split the party. It's always a good thing.
I mean,
Yes, that's the rule. Nothing bad can happen when you're not with your party.
there's always a chance Arya's gonna get kidnapped by a certain someone.
All right. So, finishing your food. Sabine, you're heading out towards Archaeus. I don't remember the name of her shop. I'm just gonna. It's just gonna be out of curiosity because it's just weird junk and things and. All right. I'm gonna slowly resolve each little slight parts here and there and like switch all of you because you decided to split the party. All right, Zakreen, you're going to school like a nerd.
Well, Yeah, like a nerd. That's
Okay.
absolutely true.
That's all right.
Um,
Cool to be a nerd.
well, colleges usually have libraries, and as an alum, I would assume that he probably has access. So there and grabbing historical texts about that time period and the things that were done to defeat the prophet and anything obscure like that. He's interested in, but also while so my thought is there's probably at least a few people still in town that he went to school with.
Possibly, yeah.
People that could potentially assist. The problem is finding those people and getting info to them, and asking questions and quietly.
Okay.
Yeah, first off, do just a little bit of research before trying to reach out. But his method of reaching out would be, 'cause I'm sure there are couriers, runners. Yep. Hey, take this over there. Here's the money.
Okay.
But when he does that and sends off messages, they will all be encrypted.
Okay.
Data disks kind of a thing that are encrypted with a method, that has a key that was something that they came up with in school.
Okay.
One of those inside joke kind of things that only somebody who was part of that little circle would know and be able to answer. So.
You just communicate memes, right?
Basically, but really obscure memes that most people wouldn't understand.
It's like you communicate in those really old memes that nobody references anymore. They're like 1,000 years old on the internet.
All right.
It's like the old memes that weren't memes.
All right. So,
like Chocolate Rain and the Numa Numa guy,
Chocolate Rain was
The
awesome.
llama song.
All right. So you're trying to encrypt your thing. Can you roll me intelligence cryptography?
I sure can. Let me pull up that number. I mean, I know what that number is, but all right. Hey, that's not bad. That'll be 4, 8, 12, 20 with 4 stump points.
Yeah, I mean, take you a while, but you managed to do something that you're fairly confident that it will be very, very hard to decipher unless you know the key. And the way, are you making your way to the library at the same time, or?
Yeah. I mean, I would probably get to the library, find out the info, grab a bunch of books, set them up, do the encryption, find some runners, and then just start reading.
All right, and you're looking for. All right. So if you're, give me a perception searching. Okay,
it's not going to be very good, but yeah, I'm basically I want to confirm what Voss is talking about.
Okay.
That the prophet was locked away and not killed, if possible. This group of people he's talking about that were a big part of that. Any relatives of any of us, things like that.
All right.
That's not bad. That'll be a 17 with 3 stump points on the perception.
All right. So, So, with 3 stun point, you say?
Sorry, that would actually be 5 stun points.
5 stun point. Okay, so you have a few exploration available, right? Like it could be like something like that makes me wonder, or object your attention, like that could work, or even like in this case, a resource at N would be very, very good, probably. Maybe actually, but yeah. Yeah, you have a few options. However, you want is stun point, which.
Oh, actually, yeah, resources at hand is not bad. The question is which focus though? Like, I have historical lore, I have research. I'd have to. I don't know what focuses would be super helpful here.
Maybe communication investigation.
That's not a bad thought. My communication skills garbage, but Yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work. Do that because I mean, librarians are, fantastic and fountains of
Mhm.
knowledge. So we want to talk to them as well.
Yeah. So you take a look around. You search. You know where some of the sections are, like historical things here and there, and you ask around. Oh, a librarian remembers you because probably at some point you like returned the book late and things like that, so she remembers you.
I used to half live in this library. What are you talking about?
Um, so the information you find, most popular historical texts regarding the Chaos War. Uh, Many believe that she was actually killed. There's a few, very very few texts here, like footnote that state otherwise. Um, Few that are mostly like that's what they do believe that and sorry she was not killed on that day due to like sheer sheer amount of power that Prophet the One did wield at the time. Um, so it is a bit conflicted here and there. But as we know, sometimes history books are not exactly accurate depending on who's writing them. Anybody they know it's study history in school, know that it is written by certain people and don't always paint the full pictures of things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a few more obscure book that indicate what Voss said be accurate. As for you were looking at for like ancestry, right?
Well, yeah, for any of us, if any of that can come up, as well as information about him. If he's been around for 1,000
Yeah.
years, there's got to be old information about. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just come out of nowhere. So
Documentation about this, like all the quote unquote heroes involved, it's hard to find. You do see mention of somebody that loosely fit the description based on recounts that was documented in interviews. It's more of a journal. Somebody tried to track down the information and noted things, but very very few names. Uh, we do see mention of Baghdad family and
Oh.
the who?
Magdi, whatever. And you do see
Arya's grandmother,
and you do see mention
which you
of
don't know yet.
You do see mention of Armin Reed because he's a big popular figure in the time. And you see a few Saurian name popped up here, but you do see there's a lot of description. There's mention of somebody that would fit Voss, but his name is not necessarily specified in that journal.
Is there a name specified for that person at all, or is it just basic descriptions of that person?
It's just a very basic description.
All right, cool.
But yeah, there's a lot of it's not the only basic description that you get in there. There's basic description of people on both sides. obviously a lot of the people that follow the one, being on the losing side of the war, they don't necessarily want to be uh, kept in historical record per se.
Fair enough.
Uh, but yeah, no, most of it seems to confirm what he mentioned. Which is a good thing.
Okay. Yeah, it means he's not completely jerking us around.
No, not completely, no. I'm the worst, and you can say it.
I'll save that for when we're off the air.
All right. All right. Sabine, you go to Farkaya's place.
Absolutely.
You enter the shop. It is the same chaotic mess as it is always. It's a place of wonder and trinkets and odds and ends, that sort of things. And you do hear her voice, behind the shop, like you don't speak Elven, right?
No, I do not.
Right. You do hear some Elven. You don't understand what she's saying, but just on the tone and context, she's probably swearing at whatever she's working on. She's being very, very, very frustrated by something. But she heard the bell. One moment, and you see her walking out, like trying to set her hair properly, as properly as Farkaya does. She always looked like a walking mess, but she's lovely. And like her face is covered with soot. Oh, you're back, dear.
Yes. I was just. We thought we were leaving, but it turns out we were just staying for a little bit longer. I was just wondering if, the thing we talked about, if you had any information.
Oh yes, you were looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, you've gone out for 3 days, and I yeah, you've been. Last you there was the day of the festival. Came back, get those moon. Then shit hit the fan. Went to boss that same day. Stayed there for a night, I think. Left in the morning. So yeah, essentially, basically 2-3 days. I did put the word out. Look, not much that I myself. No, I'm not exactly one with many little birds. But
Well, I was only asking because I heard some things, and the person that who told me, I don't know really how well I can trust them. So,
what have you heard? Perhaps.
do you know anything about the prophet?
Or do you mean a little bit? Everybody knows about the prophet, or at least I.
I mean, yes, everybody knows about him, but I was wondering if you knew, about them, like anything more than what.
I mean,
General
if you're asking me if I was there during that time, no.
Yeah, I guess no.
I mean, how old do you think I am, child?
I don't make any presumptions because a lot of elves and stuff, they live forever, but they always look like they're 21.
I mean, that isn't fair. She probably looks like she's like in her 40s at most, but I mean, I'm only.
Oh, see, I would have never guessed that.
No, right? I don't
But
look
at
at
the
day
same
over
time,
400.
no. I mean, I don't think you really look a day over 40, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm older than I look, so you just never know. But um, have you ever would it is it feasible that I would like kind of remember what the sigil looks like enough to like kind of give her like a rough drawing of it?
Yeah.
I can show it to her. Okay. Have you ever seen people like in today's time, like with this symbol?
She looks at it, and she knows what it is. Or being an absolute nerd of trinkets, books, and things like that. Honestly, dear, anybody this time was probably wearing this. I don't think that, at least for most people that would recognize him, not take it. I have not met lifetime. Are these that may add a thing or two related to
This is-
previously?
they were they were wearing this symbol when they attacked.
And looks at you very, very stern, and with a lot of sadness in her eyes.
Thank you. It's not something I feel like I've been talking about a lot recently, but I don't really talk about it. It's still very hard, and I don't want anybody to. I don't know. I guess I don't want people to start looking at me any differently than they are. You know.
She bends a little bit towards you, darling. Sometimes about things that bring us sadness. Try to remember about people, God's joy.
That's true. I never thought about it that way because I've just been. I mean, until I met my friends, I've just been alone.
You, alone. But look at you. You're a sweetheart.
I know, right? But it's just after it happened, you just look at the world a little differently. You just don't know who you can trust, and then you find people that you think you can trust, and then one of them turns out to be spying on you. Um, sorry, that's something else entirely. It's just hard.
Not sure. I do not say fully relate as it's not personally mentioned. Perhaps fighting in time, although maybe a bit shooting things like that is complicated. I'm just stories out there. Not good to everything in.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
I've not found any information about more, but keep on looking.
Yeah, please.
I like you.
I like you too. I do have another question. It's related. What do you know about the guilds in this town? Besides that, they're all like, there's people against them, but
I mean, relationship with the guilds is complicated. Sometimes they do good things. Very, very terrible thing. I think recent years leadership has changed a lot in the guild. It was on I remember years ago. Completely different. Completely different.
About
It was joy.
50
It was
or so years ago.
when terrible things started to happen.
Yeah. And
But
there's
I
been a
mean,
change
it's
in
always been a
leadership.
bit, here and there, but it got much worse last 50.
Okay.
I mean, it's not all bad. It's all good. I believe change may be needed, but front call himself. If they're the right,
No, I don't think they're the right change
You're-
leader.
and just look at
Oh,
you.
we were supposed to meet up with.
You're not part of the front, are you? Or the guild?
No.
You would tell
Neither.
me,
So
right?
I would. No, of course I would tell you. It's the law. You're required to. But also,
And she laughed.
I'm not from here. I don't know. It's just the information that I found out just led me to suspect that this symbol there may be people in this city who secretly wear it, and they might be in
That would be
positions of
very-
power.
In this case, it would be very terrible. Absolutely
Yeah,
terrible.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Also, we were definitely supposed to meet up with the front, but we never did that. We were gonna. Never mind. Not to like join them, but we were going to tell them to fix themselves.
Okay. I mean, sounds fucking fun. Honestly, I don't meet a lot of people beside people connected.
I don't know why people like more people should come here. This stuff is amazing. Zach
Is-
loves his little Tamagotchi.
Isn't it? It's lovely. Sort of things. Thankfully, there's a lot of people that come here and bring me things. I don't go out much these days.
Why not?
Don't like the outside.
I understand that sometimes. I mean, I like being outdoors, but sometimes it can be loud and messy, and people are just rude, and I can understand not wanting to be around all of that.
I like this place. Nice.
Yeah, I like it too. It's my favorite shop. We've been to a few shops, but this one's my favorite. I've been back 3 times already.
I appreciate that.
Okay, well, I have to go crush these lizards. I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten all day. So, but thank you for talking to me, and I hope that I can visit again before we leave, whenever that is.
I hope you come back.
Yes, I will if I can. I want to.
As you leave.
And I will go back to the tower eating my food along the way. By the time I get back to the tower, I'm like hungry again, so I go eat the bland food in the cafeteria.
Right. So. Alright, you put the word out. What exactly did you put as word out? Okay. Or get back in touch. You are muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I pulled a Kelly. Anyways, which I actually
Dang, roasted it. She's not even here.
Oh, she's gonna get me back for that later.
She absolutely will. I'll be the one to snitch on you too.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Anyways, she would have probably said, "I'm alive, but in the wind."
Okay.
Go back to old first contact, which is deeper in the town around this old oak tree that looks dead but is still alive. And there's a on the back side of it, there's a nook within it that letters and information would be
For dead drops.
stored and switched. Yeah, dead drops basically. She sends that says basically to those who she trusts, send the word out. The city is in danger. We need to stop it. The old group do not trust.
Your bitch is back in town. What's good? Just
Basically.
Okay. All right. So you leave your drop. You know that it takes some time. So
Oh yeah, and spread the word.
chances are, you drop it. You do your coffee business, run and bring like a fuck ton of donuts back. You probably, I'm assuming, probably just do a quick, drop by, just to, see if it was picked up or if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only. You do notice that there's nothing in it there. But whatever you drop as word was at least picked up, so somebody that noticed it. Chances are, whenever this information will be relayed and processed, information will come back to the dead drop spot. So possibly in the morning, you'll be able to find information relevant, or at least an answer.
Basically, how many of the people have
Yeah, I mean,
gone? We're still alive.
It's not the fastest way of communicating, but it works. If you know about the drop spot, then
Mm-hmm. And you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, you need to know what you're looking for. Full spy technique. My nerdy sorry, and anything else you are looking for in the meantime?
Well, while I'm here,
Yes.
I mean, I suppose I would want to look into. We've established that Voss is most likely not lying.
Yes.
That he is in general telling the truth. I've pretty much established that. So research then on the next step would be anything relating to that symbol.
All right. A lot of it has been kept away, or as much as I hate to do that analogy, I would not say erase from history. As bad vibe. You don't want to fucking see it again. As certain country actually did. With terrible people that were there once and actually educated people, unlike other countries that decided that it's gonna be a fashion statement. Oh.
Roast.
Yep.
Roast. Go off.
People that knows.
Been seeing it a lot on Twitch lately.
Yep.
So we'll see.
yeah, it's funny how like the place of origin actually treated it properly and dealt with it as it should. Um, a lot of it, has been. There's a few here and there, like because it is important to learn from history. Um, that is indeed like there's variation of it, um, but it is indeed as far as as far as it has been shown as when it's fine, indeed like what was the big brand of the prophet.
Okay, is the symbol is that just it? Is it just like a brand logo, or is there something magical about the
There's
symbol in and of
yeah,
itself? Like,
there's
is it?
I mean any quote unquote magical property about it are more date based into that, like people that wear crucifix believe that it may be magical and great. It's essentially a symbol of the faith that they have in the prophet type of deal.
Okay, fair enough.
And, empower them and yes, that is pretty much as much what you can find about it. There's no mention of that. Oh, this is an old ancient arcane symbol. That, bring doom upon the world. I mean, it did bring doom in some way, but not because the thing is magical in itself, but because people banishing that brand were just
Right, it's the association.
Yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And I guess the next thing, and this would be really short, and it's something that we tuck away for later. Within the college itself, who would be the biggest expert on that time period, especially the end of the war specifically, like the things that we're looking into, like we've got to have a scholar, somebody who's done all of this research for years and years and years.
Yeah, and I mean, you do remember like an old dwarven professor. But it was a bit of an eccentric.
Of course, that's what those are.
All historians are. Professor Boylan, Longshaper. Boylan. Longshaper.
Longshaper.
Yeah.
Okay, I will put that knowledge in my back pocket.
Yeah. He's an old professor, that was in his later years in college. He's that one professor that should have retired like 10 years ago, but just stayed around because he loved his job. But yeah, when you left, he was still there, and you hear like a few like they don't necessarily name him by name, but if you like while searching things up, you hear probably a few like current student that talk about like this old dwarf professor that just rambled on about things, and you're like, yeah, that's most likely him because how to describe him, by the way they talk about him. Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, cool. I will reach out to communicate with him at a later time.
And
but I'll head back to the tower and wait to see if I get any responses from anybody I reached out to.
And you reached my brain's a bit tired. Reached out about what piece of information you were looking for from them?
Oh,
Or-
from the old nerds, anything they know about, like I was asking them about info on Voss,
I mean, you do.
about his holdings, where that money comes from,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like,
You do hear back from them. They're not sure, but they will look around for you. They know the name Voss. They know the brand
Of course.
Voss. You know, Voss is, it's not an unknown name per se, but there's a lot of mystique around it, right? And information about him seems to be, at least I know more like than surface information is hard to find. But if they really set their mind to it, they can try to look it up and find as much information as they can on Voss.
excellent.
But yeah, they'll try. Or some of them are like, hey, I don't want to get into any. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole because they know that some people like that you don't want to fuck around with. But there's a few of them like, you know what? Let's let's try it and hope that we don't get in trouble, or get caught. But it's something that may take a bit of time. But
Yeah, no worries. I figured it wouldn't be super quick. These things take time. Without an internet, these things take time.
yeah, without like a fancy internet of modern days, plus just the general type of being that said person is. Yeah, but yeah, some people will look into that for you, or at least
Awesome.
do their best without getting bad attention on them.
Right?
Because asking for them for that favor is putting them into intimidation, right? So
I suppose, but I mean,
Yeah.
from their perspective, yes.
Yeah.
But I also know that if they got flagged by Voss, oh no, he's looking into us. I'm sure that we could be like, yo, no, it's cool. I needed info and you were busy.
yeah. All right.
You want us to help you? You will back up off my friends.
Fantastic. So as you eventually all reconvene to Boss Tower, anything before we wrap up for the night?
Yeah, I will lay out everything I learned. That all the historical texts seem to point to him telling the truth. At least about this. The prophet not being dead and him being present and things of that nature, as well as the minor amount of information that I found on the sigil, on the symbol. I will give to Sabine.
Arya's gonna talk about what she's learned about her grandmother and where her location is. And given that Voss and her knew each other, that might be another lead we can go into at some point to get more information about Voss and who he really is. And also a bunch of donuts. And she stashed all the coffee in her room.
All the stuff that was that Zach learned about this symbol, can you maybe send me a summary of it?
Yeah.
It really wasn't much at all.
Okay.
It was a basic overview of the fact that was
Yeah.
the symbol
Okay,
of
it was just
oppression
like-
from the prophet.
Yeah.
But
Okay, all that. Okay, it's like, yep, this is bad. This shit's bad.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, well, we knew that already, but okay. Just
Yeah.
I looked
I
up
think-
what I could. Where it's more of a
Yeah.
technical, scientific kind of
But
school as opposed to.
But as you tell
Mhm.
Sabine that, she will say like, I talked to Farkaya just in case she knew anything, and she said that. I mean, nope. I mean, it lines up. She said that nobody in their right minds would wear it out in public for everybody to see, because it's, they she kind of implied they just get their ass beat, which I mean, obviously,
Mhm.
so,
Makes sense.
yeah. I mean, you deserve it.
It would make sense, right?
Even if you had it in secret, you deserve it. Get your ass beat. I say, staring directly into the camera.
Are we low key making political statement here on the channel? Yes, we are.
No.
No,
I
this
don't know
is
what
just
you're
fun and
talking about.
games.
No.
Honestly, I think the next big decision that we have to make as a group, is whether or not, because I mean, we came back in all of this, and he didn't actually want the staff. Did you notice
Right.
that? I think it was less
Yeah,
about he
didn't.
wanted to use it and more of it was a test.
But
To see if we really were.
If only somebody who is from the lineage of that particular group of people could actually retrieve it, then yeah, it would be a good test to discern that for sure.
so
And I mean, technically, it's possible that the only reason why we were able to escape the vault was because of our bloodlines. All of ours.
It's possible. It's
should we
possible.
put it back?
Well, I mean, we could. That's definitely something that we can do. I don't know that any of us can wield it properly. None of us, and I don't think any of us are magic users, unless somebody's been holding out
book.
on us.
I have a book.
But my question
I'm learning.
is, so if we're going to be
Time.
if we make the decision to work with Voss and look into this whole profit thing, would it be in our best interests, if the staff does what the legends say, to help him get back up on his feet?
I think it would.
So we made a promise. Well,
No, we
I
made a
did-
promise to bring it back and use to help other people. Several of us, I'm not going to name no names, were very adamant about never letting him use it on himself.
no, I never no, but
Not
I
you.
did. But I did say that I would be willing to use it on him to heal him.
Okay.
Not to give it to him, but to help him. I did agree to that.
I remember
And
Evelyn being very anti that, though. She was, at least that's what my memory is telling me. I could be wrong, but
Well, she's currently working in the.
Still sitting at the car waiting because we have to.
right.
She probably like went to like after a while like she's gonna go into a workshop and work on things because I know that Evelyn has a billion project. So
Mhm. I'm just
I think
thinking of her like angrily working away.
Where
Yeah,
the
it
hell
Doesn't
are
even
those
realize
guys?
what time it is.
like walking in back, you heard about like a terrifying lady like yelling and screaming at things while she was working in a workshop. You just assume it's her.
Oh yeah, no, that's her for sure. So then, if we are going to use it to attempt to heal him, then we will need to find somebody who can. I do not know any magic users, as far as I know. At least not any that are local.
I might know one, but I will have to see if I can get in contact with her. Because I don't know if, how do I say this nicely? She liked to drink, and there's a possibility that it caught up with her. Because drinking and magic, I mean,
Drinking and anything that is dangerous naturally is not a good combination. The problem is that it's got to be
Yeah.
something that somebody we can trust to use it, give it back, and then not go and tell people that shouldn't know that we have it. But
She's one that I trust quite well.
okay? But isn't Voss himself a mage? Could he technically use it on himself? Are we still at the point where we wouldn't hand it over for a minute to let him try? Although I don't know if he can, given his actual physical state of being. I don't know how magic works. I don't know if it's purely mental or if there's a real physical effort of will.
Well, I don't know anybody but you guys.
And Farkaya?
And Farkai, yeah. Oh, and the woman who sells lizards. I fair and forgot her name.
What are you asking
Does she have
for
a
it?
name?
I
I was
forgot her
going to
name.
say, did she have a name? She's the lizard lady. But no way, that
The
sounds
woman who
right.
sells the lizard sticks, and she'll pull out one of the dessert ones and start snacking on it. Like, yeah, I know her. She's great, and Farkai is great, and those are the only great people who live consistently in this city. Because the rest of the
I mean,
city
there's
is
also
garbage.
Bubba.
Oh, yeah, Bubba's awesome too, and the innkeeper.
Yeah.
That's it.
The innkeepers. That's my boy.
Actually,
I
on
forgot
our
that
bag right there.
note, I am trying to get in contact with my intelligence infrastructure. Why can I not remember this word?
Network.
Thank you. I don't know why that was escaping me. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm tired. Fear of flying really takes it out of you. Anyways, I've tried to get back in contact with those that I trust, not those that I would probably sell me out to a certain someone. So depending on who contacts me back, we might be able to have a little bit more information coming our way.
Yeah, I sent out some feelers to some of the people I used to run with in some of the old academic circles about some info. So, if anything, most of them will do it because they enjoy digging up stuff like that. So, because they're nerds.
Right.
Oh, well, Farkaya said she was also looking into stuff. So maybe with all the information we get from different sources, we can put something together and then come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, Voss's idea was not the worst. Go to Skeleton Boy's old estate. I mean, it can't be in like super disrepair. He had a family. He had a wife and at least one kid, right? I'm forgetting what was all in the picture.
According to the picture, you had a wife, a child, and some weird dog and kitty. So yeah.
Well, but I mean, it's been so long they might have moved and maybe they don't keep up with it anymore.
That's true, but you would think of it because if he was influential both in tech and magic at that point in time, he was probably well off.
Yeah.
And a family would move away. They're either going to keep it maintained, or if they can't anymore, why wouldn't they sell it to someone who would, you know?
I would think if there was any important information there, it would be kept with the so-called heroes. One of them would probably have picked it up and kept it maintained.
Yeah, but which hero? The hero that I come from, the hero that you come from, the hero that you know, it's
I don't think it's.
Who knows? Did you know everything that was going on in your village?
No, but I mean, we're all very close, and I mean, if they're out there and I don't want to think about that right now.
Arya just pats your shoulder. Yeah. I agree. His place would probably be the best next step to investigate. Because if the cult has actually infiltrated the guilds, then it might be best that we
I did. When I
beat them.
spoke to Farkaya, she did say that the bad stuff started happening about 50 years ago. So
Yeah, that's when things changed.
I think it's possible that they've infiltrated the guilds, and I mean, I think that they are the guilds at this point.
I know that there was some that stayed out of it. And from what I understand, they haven't had a change in leadership. So I'm thinking that they succeeded in possibly getting their hands on a few of the guilds, not all of them. So if we can figure out who is good and who is questionable, we might have allies on our side.
Farkaya might know. I guess I would have to say, yes, they might be allies, but I would want to see what the state of their houses are. Because not being part of the bad doesn't necessarily make you good if you've done nothing and you're just complicit.
We're also not being part of that bad doesn't mean they're not a part of a different bad.
That too.
True. But
there's the terrible stuff that's going on, and then there's general corruption and malfeasance.
I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the cult
I don't know about that.
I mean, if we're going up against this cult and given the chaos of the Chaos War, sometimes you need to grab your enemies and say, hey, they're worse than us. Let's be allies for now. And then figure out after this threat, because it threatens everybody.
I mean, I guess my hesitation with that is, again, I would want to know what they've been trying to do to stop the bad guilds from doing what they're doing. Because, again, if they're just letting it happen and just, keeping themselves under the radar and not making any changes, I kind of don't want to be teamed up with somebody like that because they'll just be useless. And also, they're complicit, and that makes them just as bad.
True. Well, there's some situations where your hands are tied because do you want to destroy the city or do you want to be in a stalemate and do under the table kind of stuff too?
Seem like there is really a stalemate. It seems like the cult, if they are here, are the ones in charge.
No. That's one of the big things is, as Farkaya said, they wouldn't say outward, oh, we're a part of the cult, because that would get everybody on the side of taking them down.
Without knowing, and that's fine, but seeing what they're doing and it's wrong and then you do nothing, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, I totally understand.
Being quiet. I don't want to sit here and try to argue with somebody about why they should help. They should know that they should be helping.
Exactly.
So I think our next... Oh, go ahead.
Just a last note is, the fact is, when it comes to the power struggles and such of guilds like this, it's more complicated, unfortunately, because they have to deal with a lot of different aspects. And if you screw up one, you might screw up everything else and make it worse for everybody. So it's unfortunate that they can't always be immediately doing good in situations. But situations like this with the cult, if we can figure out who is actually good, they'll probably be definitely willing to help out. But that will take time. Anyways, you were saying, Zach?
I was going to say, before we get too deep into this conversation and start making any decisions, obviously we have to loop Evelyn in on this.
She's right there. Just kidding. She's been here the whole time.
We just see her with a donut in her mouth and she's just passed out. And it's like, when did she get here?
I don't know. She's sneaky sometimes. Sneakier than you.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, with all those guns that she carries all the time. You think she'd just be clank, 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 but no, she's pretty quiet.
Which reminds me, I definitely need to hit the armory to get more bolts and see if there's any special ones in there.
If we go to Armin's house, maybe there'll be books on magic. And maybe we won't have to get somebody to use the staff for us. We can just, one of us can learn how to do it ourselves. And I volunteer, thank you.
That's fine. I do want to see if Donna is still alive. I miss drinking with her. She's a blast. I think you would like her because she's a happening too.
We don't all get along.
Well, I mean,
That's a weird halfling stereotype.
What's happening?
All right.
Yeah, no, I've met some
Present
asshole.
for-
halflings in my
I'm gonna
life.
headbutt her just to spite you now.
oh yeah, she's like the one that Arya could see you hanging out with. Not that she would be like, no, I can't see her doing with this other person that I know. He's just an asshole.
She's a magic user?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe she can teach me too.
Yeah, that's what I was
I just
thinking.
want to learn. Because, I mean, I think if we're going to go up against somebody who uses magic, maybe at least one of us should learn it.
Yeah, given that we're all magic. Yeah, we definitely need to wait until Ava gets down here. Which is why I got so many donuts.
All right.
I have another one.
Yeah.
So, as you are all wrapping up, eating donuts, wondering about, what to do next, what lead to follow, where we will wrap it up for the night. Thank you again for everybody who joined in and watched and thought what Jasmine. Elaine, we really miss you. And
Yes.
We need you back.
Come back.
we'll be back. We hope to see you next week. So before we head out, tell a lot of people at home, what you and where they can mostly find you on usual times and things like that. Wish you all go in reverse order as previously.
Reverse sword is fine.
All right, here goes you on the spot.
Oh, hey, I'm still Jiggles the Fat, just like before. Nothing has changed on that front.
That hasn't
So
changed.
right now, you can definitely catch me here on Thursday nights. And at some point soon, back on my own channel, having fun playing games and painting minis and chatting and such. So, ooh. And you could probably, if any of y'all are going to be at PAX Unplugged in December, there's like a 99% chance I'm going to be there.
I'll be there on somebody's FaceTime if somebody calls me FaceTime.
Somebody will
Yeah,
just
I
like
won't
walk around with you on FaceTime
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
No, you just get like a thing for the tablet, and you just kind of have the tablet sitting here.
I want it to be like that one episode of Bob's Burgers where they had the tablet on the wheels that it just roamed around the school.
Oh my
Just
god.
happy
Yeah.
on there. Well, on that note, I'm fair. I have been your extremely emotionally conflicted halfling Sabine Mooncrest. Let's see. Thursdays you can find me here, where I have fun with my amazing cast members. Saturdays you can find me over on Rolling Beast 20s at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Vampire the Masquerade campaign. We are ramping up for the end of season 3. But don't you worry, because the coterie will be back at the end of October. And I'll just announce this now. I won't say what I'm doing, but in October, while we're waiting the start of the new season, I will be running something on the channel. Come by and be nice. Next Saturday at noon, you can find me over on fortnerd.com's channel at 12 Eastern, I believe, for a charity event supporting frick, my brain just blanked out. Supporting a cure for Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. It's going to be amazing, and I'm playing with such an amazing group of people, including Joshua Simmons, Ermin Bohemian, D&D Jordan Lee. DM's going to be Mini Train Domain Jake. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're doing it for a great cause. So please come by. You can check out my pinned tweet on Twitter at Fairbear for more information on that. Again, I'm extremely excited to do that, and yeah, that's all I have. Sometimes I stream on my channel. Just follow me on Twitter, honestly. The best way to know what I'm doing is follow me on Twitter, because especially in October, I will be all over the fucking place.
Hey,
Stay tuned.
You love to see Bear around it. Awesome. And Kitty?
Hey everybody, I'm Kitty. You can find me on Twitter at InsaneKitty32, where I mostly am. You can also go onto my Etsy, Causality Cat Studios, where I sell these lucky dice charms. I have been told they do give good luck. So
also, they're
go
just
check those out.
Cute and pretty. I love mine. But also, I got a really good roll when I was rolling to see if I could find food. So that's there you have it, folks. Make
you're
it that
rolling
what you
well
will.
for very important things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Combat? Who cares? Finding lizards on sticks? Yeah, where it's give me those rolls
That's right.
all day.
No, they're great. I love little dice arm. I have one. Well,
I'm absolutely gonna buy another one.
they're absolutely
can.
Oh.
lovely.
New ones should be coming up soon. So
Awesome. Check it out. Check that lovely shop out. All cool little stuff. And as always, I'm Rafiki. I'm co-founder of the channel, GM here most of the time. I mostly every Thursday. These lovely people, which is fantastic. Outside of that, I'm currently on Tuesdays on Raven's channel for Dragon Age campaign. If you follow me on social, you know when I'm live there. Once in a while, I do music here. Not here, but I do come music. The intermission music and the intro video music is done by me under Raven Skull Production. I will do that before I have a fair that will just yell at me.
Saw me gearing up for it too.
Well, yeah, I saw you taking that sip. Just making sure that you were well hydrated.
Yep, gotta make sure
I
the
knew.
throat is.
Yeah, and as lovely the opera geek is mentioning in chat, I did Scotty's theme song for a channel. So.
Hi, twin.
So yeah, and outside of this,
next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday, I will be joined here on the channel. Remember, it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, with some amazing, I'll be joined by some amazing people. I'm gonna be on the player side of things. The game will be GM by my amazing friend, co-founder of the channel, Derek Ward. Sitting at the table with me will be D&D Jordan Lee, Diane and Miko, Justice You, and myself. It's gonna be doing a very stream benefiting Pab Love. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have a lovely quirky character in mind for this one shot, so that should be a lot of fun. Donation will influence the game. All things will happen. So yeah, if you want to help us, endure us, or just create chaos, You can donate. You can already donate now. It should. I do believe it is open. Yeah. Not only influence the game, but also change the life of children that are impacted by cancer, because fuck cancer. Cancer sucks. Those kids. Yeah. So yeah, it's for a good cause. Looking forward to see y'all next Friday as well. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. As always, we will be rating. We do love to bring some GR love, so make sure to kind to bring. We are rating it. Mini terrain domain. Suggested to me by fellow castmates here.
DM for next Saturday, and they did.
Nightbot does not like Kelly.
Nightbot.
I'm
Wow,
sorry.
disrespectful.
All right.
Leave her alone.
Nightbot chose violence.
Nightbot did choose violence. Hold on.
And thank you, Faye. You're the best.
Love you, Kelly.
I'm trying
We
to
love
get
you.
my other friggin'
That's
mouse.
mean.
Oh my god.
And I'm sorry, I absolutely had to put that clip in the thing. I wasn't sure if someone was really gonna rat you out, and I felt like it needed to be known. So
Yeah. I'm gonna get yelled at. Thank you.
oh yeah, no, you're welcome. You deserve it with what you said. How dare you?
I mean, I've flipped her so many times for things, so
All right.
I mean, karma comes back to bite me in the butt.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for watching and joining us tonight. It was a joy, and looking forward to see these amazing people again next Thursday for more Titansgrave shenanigans. Where this will go. Have a good night.
Also,
Yes.
be nice to Jake because he's my DM for next Saturday, and I don't want him to kill my character.
But just be nice in general, because it's the nice thing to do.
Also, be nice. Be nice in
Definitely.
general, but be double nice so my character doesn't die. Thanks.
I mean, it's not gonna be the him. It's going to be the dice. We all know this.
True,
The dice are
also
the ones
true.
that do it.
All right.
But also, he did send us a cryptic. Not necessarily cryptic, but like we were all like, "What?" He sent us a message. We were like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I guess we're gonna find out more information about that. When's it? Is it
Yeah,
again? Fair? It's.
It is next Saturday, September 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern,
Right.
over on Fortner.com.
Should join in for that. I mean, again. So yeah, when you go, we're gonna raid. Make sure to follow the channel so that you're gonna know when to go live for that. That note, have a good night. See you next Thursday.
Night, everybody.